In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can build this graph right here. And that's because we're going to be doing something fun. We're going back into the old Microsoft Power BI forum posts and we're answering questions. And well, someone wanted to know how to build that visual. So that's what we're going to show them how to do. But before we get into all that, I do need to introduce myself. Hi, my name's Ned. I'm a Microsoft MVP with a focus on Power BI. And well, today's video, we're gonna have some fun. But just one quick favor before we jump into the computer, if you could go ahead, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, it would mean a lot. Okay, so here's the forum post that started it all. Someone is wanting to visualize a confidence interval with an area plot. So they want to show the graph kind of like this, where they have a solid line and then they hit a forecast and it becomes a dotted line with then kind of a confidence interval on either side. Now, Power BI does have some kind of native forecasting features that aren't super widely documented that I think can do a lot of this. But in this video, we're going to be using an area plot to kind of visualize some of this, especially because this user right here provided some sample data. One thing just to note about this sample data is that I am in the US and this data is in day, month, year format. And then instead of a period, right, they're using a comma. So I did have to clean this data out a little bit, but that was no problem, especially in today's AI era. So I now have a nice clean data set that I will link down below in the video description for you guys to follow along with. Jumping then into Microsoft Power BI, our first step is going to be to get our data. So we're going to hit this Get Data button right here. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to select text and CSV and transform data CSV v2. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to click open. Now we're not going to go ahead and transform this data at all. So we're going to just click load and we're going to bring it into our model. So let's let this load. And then once this is loaded, let's go ahead and just rename this query over here to data. Okay. The next step is going to be to create our measures because as you can see, we have lower bound, upper bound, and the actual variable. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go over here to home and I'm going to click a new measure and I'm going to title this variable or some measure variable equals some variable. I'm going to close that and then I'm going to make a new measure. Oh, already in use. Ooh. So let's call this var val. There we go. Okay, then I'm going to go down here to new measure. I'm going to go LB val, and I'm going to sum this, lower bound, okay, and then I'm going to make one new measure, which is going to be UB val, and I'm going to sum this as upper bound, okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and close. Now the next thing that we need to do is we need to insert in our area chart, so I'm going to put in an area chart right here. On the x-axis, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put date right here, and then I'm going to, on the y-axis, start to add our various columns here. So as you can see, as I am adding these in, we're already starting to kind of get some of that forecast, right? So like here we have they're aligned, 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 and then all of a sudden here you can start to see that confidence interval coming through. Now, this is where these kinds of things get a little tricky because we need to pay attention to the order at which these are on top of each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the lower bound down from the top here, and we are going to drag it down to the very bottom. So there we are, lower bound down from the very bottom. Now that we have the lower bound down from the very bottom, we're going to go into the formatting tab right here. We're going to go into shade area right here. And we are going to go down over here to lower bound, and we are going to turn off matching line color, and we are going to set it to white, and then set the area transparency down to 0%. So as you can see, we now have this line and then branches off, right? So this is looking pretty good. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over here to this variable val, and we are going to set transparency here all the way to 100. So just like that, right? You now start to see we are already starting to kind of get this confidence interval coming through. One of the things we do need to do is we need to actually kind of set the color here. So they are all this orange, right? It's like if you see here, right, this is kind of an orange. So the way we need to do that is we need to go up here to lines. Then we need to go down over here to upper bound, right? Then down here to color, and we need to set it to the orange. And then we need to do the exact same thing for our var variable right here and set this to the orange as well. So as you can now see, we now actually have an areas chart starting to kind of come through here. One of the things that was wanting, right, was we wanted the upper bound and then the lower bound to not have any width. So let's go ahead and let's change this down to 0 pixels right here. And then let's go down over here to the lower bound and let's turn this one down to 0 pixels as well. So now you can start to see the confidence interval is coming through here, right? And the only thing that we are missing is kind of this dotted line right here when it switches from actuals into forecast. So how are we going to do that? Well, in an ideal world, I would actually probably have this be a actuals variable and then a forecast variable, but we, like in the table, I mean, but we can do that by actually kind of creating different measures here. So the first thing that I'm going to go do is I'm going to go into our var val measure here, and I'm going to rename this to actuals var val. And then if you notice, the forecast starts on Monday, January 15th, 2018. And again, this would really be something you'd want to do in Power Query or your data source and not in a measure, but we're going to do it here. So I'm going to go where max data date right here is less than or equal, and I'm going to put in that date that the forecast starts and the actuals end. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go date right here, 2018, 01/15, then return the sum right here. Else return blank. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter right here. And as you can see, the line stops and starts. And then I'm going to go right here, copy this, hit new measure button, go right here and go forecast. And I am then going to go back over here, and I am going to change this right here to a greater or equals right here. And I'm going to hit enter. And then we can simply just add in our forecast line right over here. And as you can see, it's starting to come through. We can go down over here to shade area. We can turn, just in general, if we go to forecast, we can turn the transparency up to 100. And then we can go up here to line right here, and we can change it from solid to dash, but we're going to want to do that on the forecast line. So we will go right here and we will change this to dashed, right? And so there is our forecast line now actually started. Now, obviously you want to do some stuff like customize the titles and the axis title over here and probably adjust the scale. But for the most part, if we go back and we look at what was actually being built or requested, right? Here is the graph that they wanted, and here is the graph that we built. Obviously, the data they provided is slightly different than the data that they have here, which is why this looks slightly different. But that is how you build an area chart with forecast lines and some confidence intervals. You also, just as a side note, probably want to go through and customize this tooltip so it doesn't quite look like this with a bunch of values going over.
And just like that, you've reached the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, again, hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one. Talk to you later.